Bonjour, je m'appelle Kirsten et je puis parler français. Hi, y'all. I'm Kirsten and I'm learning how to speak French. First of all, it was never on my bingo card to learn how to speak French, but let me tell you why, what led me here, right? So, yeah, I love listening to music, and at the end of every year, YouTube Music will give you a summary of all the music that you're listening to. It'll break it down by genre. It'll give you information about the artists that you listen to the most, the songs that you listen to the most. And last year, I was listening to a lot of this one artist. His name is Joe Duefile. Ooh, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Anyways, I know he is of Haitian descent, like his ethnicity is Haitian. So this one song I've been listening to a lot for Campe has been probably the number one song on my playlist from last year that I listened to. So naturally, when I went through the genre of different genres that I was listening to, it showed me that 10% of the music I was listening to was French. Okay, now I know, okay, Joe Duefile, he was born in France. And I know that, Haiti, people there, they speak Haitian Creole, they speak French. I know I was listening to that one song a lot, but it was a pretty significant percentage of my music I was listening to that was French. And I know it couldn't have been just him that I was listening to that speak French and sing in French. So I went down a huge rabbit hole trying to figure out who else am I listening to that's singing in French. I don't know. YouTube music, it'll give you maybe like the top 50 ish songs that you listen to the most in a year. And this one song came about called Dodo, by this artist called Taiki. And I had this song in my Afrobeats rotation because it gives off like an Afrobeats type vibe. I didn't realize I listened to that song that much, that it also influenced my algorithm. Um, and part of the reason I was listening to French music was because of him. So once I Googled him and learned a little bit more about him, I started listening to more of Taiki's music, and I am just blown away. First of all, I didn't think the French people was getting down like that. I thought y'all was just listening to opera. I thought it was just all about opera music. Maybe some of that is influenced by my cousin, one of my favorite cousins in the world who passed away. Like she loved French culture and she was big on like listening to opera, singing opera, things of that nature. So I thought that y'all, the French people, I thought that they was just listening to opera. I was not familiar with y'all ways. Clearly, I am so sorry. Please pardon my ignorance. Okay, so before we continue, I also just want to give a shout out to the Afro community in France. I want to, definitely give credit to French culture, but it is definitely the Afro community that is enhancing the cultural elements that I'm seeing out of French culture right now. And it is just amazing to see how the diaspora is able to still celebrate themselves in a way that reflects the culture that's around them and also uh, hold space for Afro culture itself. So I love what I'm seeing, and I got to give credit to that. Got to give credit to y'all, the Afro community in France, because Taiki, he got it going on. First of all, he is fine, 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 dark chocolate brother, and he sang like that. Oh my gosh. So I have to learn French now, enough for me to understand what he's saying. Between him and Joe Duefile, like I gotta understand. Like I love both of the artists. I love their music. Um, I love Dark Chocolate Men also. I didn't think it was gonna take listening to and seeing fine dark chocolate men for me to be like, ooh, maybe I should learn some French. But here I am today. It was never on my bingo card to even learn French. Matter of fact, I want to learn indigenous languages. That is my goal. I really want to have more range with my podcast anyway. So part of that is me learning different languages so I can connect with people who don't normally speak English or don't really know English, don't haven't learned English. I want to connect with people more in that aspect. So part of me is like going on this adventure of learning different languages aside from what I know, aside from my native tongue. Didn't think French would have been on that list, but here we are. I'm learning French. I need to know what I'm listening to. Yeah, French people, I was not familiar with your ways. Y'all was hiding this man. Y'all was hiding Taiki. I'm upset. I'm so upset. But not anymore because now I know. I know. He just released an album called Joya, and I really want to go to one of his concerts. I have got to see that man in person. I got to see him perform. I've been watching on YouTube. That's a fine chocolate man, and my heart cannot resist a fine chocolate man. So now I got to learn French. My goal, once I am able to actually listen to the music and understand it without having to look at Google Translate to figure out what it is that he's saying. Actually, my learning is it's starting off with the music, but also I want to just get a tutor involved because I can read it. The more I read French, the more I realize that I want to say at least 30% of the English that we speak every day and we're familiar with are very similar in French as it is in English. So this journey is not as difficult as I thought it would be. I think the most difficult part will be me actually talking to people. But I have to learn just enough because I want to go to a concert. That means I have to know enough to get by. Like I don't want to go to a different country and just mainly speak English. I don't want to do that. So I gotta get it together. Hopefully I can get it together enough to where once I, go to France, experiment, I want to go to other French speaking countries. I'm excited. I want to see like what this journey where this journey is going to take me and hopefully it gets me to the point where I can start doing podcasts in different languages. That would be so fun and I would be honored to have French speaking people on this podcast, but not just from France. I want to connect with people in other countries, Madagascar, Martinique, Guadeloupe, Cameroon. That would be great. Shout out to the Cameroonians because I know Taiki is of Cameroonian descent and chef's kiss when it comes to Taiki and everything that he embodies. Haiti, Haiti, shout out to Joe Filet, chef's kiss as well. Wish me luck, y'all. I'm using this website called lingua.com to learn French. I do realize I need a tutor though. I need to start speaking so I can pick up more on the words that I'm not familiar with quite yet and navigate the grammar, navigate the conjugations of the different verbs. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get it straight. Hopefully my goal is to start posting more about this. This is a little different from my normal like podcast content, but if y'all wonder what I'm doing when I'm not podcasting, just know this is it. Trying to figure it out, trying to learn a new language. So Wish me luck. And if y'all are also learning how to speak French and you have tips, let me know. If you have recommendations for tutors in other countries that have French influence, I'm interested in that as well. Um, I want to learn more about your culture. I want to learn more about just how y'all are getting by because the more I learn about French culture and history, it is depressing. It really is. Just when I thought that US history was depressing, these Europeans really did a number on African countries and the Caribbean. It really just it makes me sad. It really does. And to know that the French still have like monetary influence on a lot of those countries, like that is I want to know what how y'all feel about it. I want to know what you're going through. If I can use my platform to just amplify the resilience of your culture, I want to be more of a servant in that way. So, yeah, thank y'all for listening and I hope y'all have a lovely day. And to those who are in this process of learning a new language, best wishes to you. I'm rooting for you heavy. Yeah. Take care. Bye.